Hey y'all, you're listening to Sunshine State Showcase, and I am so happy you're here because I am excited to tell you about my experience at Suwannee Spring Reunion back in March. Oh my goodness, I got to see so many fantastic bands, but today I'm going to bring you an interview with a really fantastic band that's been around a while called Tire Fire. They are from a combination of Central Florida and Georgia, and they have a wonderful, ethereal, mystical, but yet chaotic, yet harmonious sound. They are all of those things, and I love them dearly. I love their songwriting. I love their fun spirit, and also their musicianship. One of the reasons I love this band is because they are really expanding the lexicon. For example, their instrumentation. They've got a banjo, and they've got a mandolin in their band. Most folks would see that and think, oh, bluegrass. Absolutely not. They have so many different influences, and they are upbeat, they are energetic, they are inventive, and they've got great new music coming out for you soon that we will talk about more on the actual interview. Now, I saw Tire Fire for the first time at the Florida Americana Music Festival almost a whole 6 or 7 months ago, and I was blown away in the best way that you can be. So I saw them again at Spirit of the Suwannee Music Park for Suwannee Spring Reunion, and to see them on the amphitheater stage, the main stage, just playing their original music, standing out there in the sunshine, with everyone who loved them around them, dancing out in the crowd. It was magical. I had a great time. I kind of woke up late that day. I got up that day, I got my shower, and I got everything set up to prep for the interview as soon as I could. And then I boogied on down to the stage, caught their set, and then they came back to my campsite, and they were just so gracious to share their time with me and share so much of what they've got going on and their dreams. Well, y'all, without further ado, let's head out to the woods so you can hear my conversation with Tire Fire. You're listening to Sunshine State Showcase, and we are here at Suwannee Spring Reunion with Tire Fire, who is freshly off their initial morning set. Y'all sounded fantastic. So, folks, tell me, what was your favorite moment playing that set this morning out there on the main stage?
Oh boy, I can start. I had this moment where I looked out and I saw my friends crying. I'm a total crybaby, and I saw my friends tearing up, and I started choking up, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I looked to my left, and I saw our friend Janelle dancing with this woman who was spry like a child and had gray hair like somebody in their 80s or 90s, dancing like a maniac, and I was just like, mission accomplished! I stopped crying and went back to, and that was all. We're talking about a 0.25 of a second, but that did happen. That was my moment. What about you guys?
I think one of my favorite moments was playing a song that I wrote that we arranged last minute for the first time together as a band, put it together on the stage, and it went the way that we wanted it to. And that's awesome.
Shay said we have to play it again tomorrow, so we might have to do that, but we'll see.
I hope y'all do. That's awesome. Yep. So, what is it? Because I've met most of y'all out here at Suwannee. What is it about Suwannee Spring Reunion or Suwannee Roots Revival, either one, that feels like the right environment for Tire Fire?
I just said everything.
I'm going to second everything. It's kind of the perfect environment, really. It's like a bluegrass, folky fest.
So there's two sides of this that really, really speak to me. It's like, one, yeah, we're kind of a bluegrass band. We've got a banjo, we've got a fiddle, we've got guitars, we've got harmonies, we've got this sound, and that's objectively what happens at Suwannee Spring Reunion. But I like to think that Tire Fire, and this is my battle cry, we're expanding the lexicon. We're taking what's expected with these instruments and doing the unexpected. And I think that I've gotten so much personally out of the growth, the tradition and the roots music that happens out here, and to add to that with something a little bit different, something that's not what everyone's doing, means the world to me. Hopefully it's inspiring new generations of players, just like I was inspired by bands like The Devil Makes Three, Trampled by Turtles, taking this sort of almost punk rock approach to the oldest kind of music in our country, one of the original sounds of America.
That is awesome. And do you feel like Suwannee pulls something different out as you're performing, like as opposed to somewhere else?
100%. Whether it's the trees, the people, the energy, the stages, the history. It's all adding a lens to the experience that it's something you can't copy. You can't repeat it anywhere else, really. And so to be here after years and years and years of playing in the woods, sneaking up on fires, working the stages, I mean, what a dream.
I know. I love to see. It really made my heart happy to see y'all on the main stage this morning. And y'all have got, is it 1 or 2 more sets left this weekend?
Just one more.
And that's on the dance tent, right?
That's correct.
What can folks expect from that set? Is it going to be different?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but it'll be a little bit of a Rainbow Kitten surprise. We're going to get party mode, and that's, well, you know, we wanted to bring our gentle, harmonic, sweet nature to this morning set, to all the wood and the sunrise and the forest. What we're going to bring to the dance tent will hopefully be a balls to the wall party, and I for one will be rocking an aesthetic that I've never rocked on stage before, and I'm enthusiastic about taking this leap into a new part of my career.
Trey's going full David Bowie.
Yeah, I'm going full David Bowie.
Full David Bowie, so that's the
gonna be
tease, huh?
great.
Well, we'll see what it is tomorrow. And it's really, to say David Bowie's the inspiration is not fair. There is an
No,
inspiration, and it's a secret inspiration that we'll reveal when we get on stage.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm so excited to hear that. So, who, of all of you, who tends to nudge things into the fun zone while y'all are playing?
I have no
Sean?
idea. There's a dinosaur in the room somewhere.
I have a feeling who that might be.
I was certainly going to go with the dinosaur.
Should we?
Well, should we introduce our friend?
Maybe sit up here.
This is why we call her our
take
hype
it.
ambassador.
Do you need to crawl over the table? Is that what it is? Here, I'll take this. Did
Give us your best roar, all right?
Oh!
It's evolving!
what's up, guys?
Oh my gosh.
So I said Sean, but
I think we know who breaks the blood factor.
I get Dave's helping. You're helping so good. Thanks, guys. I do try to have fun to make up for being.
Let's hand her the
lowest-
floating mic.
Oh yeah, right, the floating mic.
There's a
I
switch. that
I
needs
do
to be
try to
flipped.
be fun. To make up for not knowing what I'm doing, I try to just be fun. I think it helps.
And another thing that's so awesome about y'all is, from what I understand, y'all create across state lines. Like, y'all are located in a cross between Florida and Georgia, right?
That's true.
Yes.
This was a band that sort of blossomed at the campfire.
Yep.
And we met. I give Adam Pierce of Wanitopia a lot of credit for taking a leap of faith to bring together the Florida and Georgia communities. And at that, I met Sean. Danny and I were already friends from a festival that I used to throw back in the day. But we met the seeds of our band that weekend and had our first real jam around the fire years before we would even become bandmates. And it was, I lived in Florida at the time, and. I'm ready. I'm anticipating Ari's going to do something buck wild, and I'm just not. I'm so on edge right now. But
It's all right.
Just let it happen.
we Sean and I moved to Georgia to try to embrace some of that musical energy that we found in those days around the fire. Of course, it's an irony. None of those players from Georgia that we moved to the state to start the band with are in the group now. But we're so blessed that Ari joined the band after we started, because I remember sitting around talking and I was like, Danny J is in our band. And I went,
I witnessed.
and then after that, she's like, I think I have to join this band, because, yeah, I feel that way too. So creating across state lines has been a challenge, but it's also been a definitive part of what makes us what we are.
So about creating across state lines, me and Sean and Trey are in Atlanta.
That's true.
And we get together and we do like trio shows, and sometimes we'll have Justin Boudreau, the bass player from
Yeah.
the Ain't Sisters, will join us, and so we get together and do that kind of stuff. But in particular, we were all trying to get together Danny's song this last round, because we all really wanted to play it, and then we debuted it with this band on the main stage today, and it was really beautiful. And I think that all the work that we did yesterday paid off, and then like me and Danny both, we listened back, and then I had an idea, and she was like, I have an idea about what we should do, and we had like the same idea pretty much.
I love
And
that.
so
You're
it's
sharing a
very-
brainwave.
Yeah, definitely. And it was just like the same part of the song, so that was a really cool good thing. But I think that like everybody in this band is just about it and ready, and like even if we mess up, it only goes by like in a flash. So
That's
like
the thing about playing 180 beats per minute. Nobody knows.
I don't know if we're going that fast, but it was
Too fast to process. So has distance changed the way that y'all create together?
Yes, I feel like now when we get together, there's a lot of intention behind our get-togethers. Mm-hmm. Because if they're not as often than when we do, I mean, we really do kind of plan out everything that we're going to do. Like this is a recording session, this is a writing session, we have to do rehearsal at Suwannee the day before.
To piggyback on what
Because
Ari said,
we don't get together. So
Right.
like yesterday was, these lovely folks over here let us play the same song 5 times in a row at their campsite, and I have to say like thank you for letting us do that. But again, it's like this is where we're going to rehearse. And
So has working like this taught you anything about yourselves and about collaboration?
first of all, it's been humbling. I mean, you have these goals, and you hope you can achieve them, and then to pull them off is just there's so much gratitude that comes with that. But also, I think it would be easy to throw in the towel. It would be easy to say we've got opportunities on the home front. We don't have to do this. And so the biggest thing that's taught me about this band and about myself is that we don't have quit in us. We are, this group of people is some of the hardest working, most dedicated individuals I've had the pleasure of working with. And I know that it's easy to take for granted having a band, being able to rehearse every week, being able to do that, to accomplish what I think is just, I'm so humbled to be able to be in this band, and I think it's the most magnificent music I've ever gotten to make. And to be able to do that with so much distance behind us is an incredible thing.
It's really remarkable because that is a challenge is that bands face is, being far away from each other, and that time becomes sacred when you do get together. Do y'all have any like special rituals that y'all do before you practice?
None that are safe for work.
Okay.
I really can't think of any though. That it's just our chemistry, really. I mean,
Y'all be playing Magic though.
oh, that's true. We
Magic
love
the Gathering?
Magic the Gathering.
We do
I think
nerd
that's
stuff.
More of me and Danny think. Sean taught us how to play, and we
He
worked
regrets
him so
it.
hard that he hasn't played with us since.
In my defense, he cheats. Like he literally cheats. He'll look at the top cards of it. He'll pull extra cards. He's scrying with no scry card. It's ridiculous.
Man, next y'all are going to have a D&D campaign. That's cool.
We do. It's called Looks and Warlocks. You can listen to it on Spotify. It's available. It's really funny.
Put it in there, Trey.
Sean and I did the music for it. I stopped promoting it because it's hard to promote a D&D podcast. But yeah.
It's actually really rad. My favorite character is his wife plays Granny Glenda. And she's just
very mean.
and
She likes
she's
to say the C word a lot. It's her favorite word.
Oh my gosh. So I checked y'all out before the festival, and I saw your fabulous music video, Lift You Up, and I edit video for a living, so I watch the editing as much as I watch the video itself, and it is so well done. Can y'all tell me about, the song itself and also the production of that video, how y'all did that?
I'm the production crew. You could start on that at any point, but I made that song up. I was just thinking about like my friends who I love. It's like to me, and what it's about for me is like a sideman anthem. Like I prefer to be a support as opposed to like the front person. I feel very honored to be able to work with my favorite musicians and people in this band, and other groups that I'm in. The Ain't Sisters, Vision Crystal. Is just incredible to be able to contribute to the music that I love so much that my friends made up, and so that's kind of the sentiment behind that song. But it's actually about Sean Hartley.
Sean Hartley. Shout out
It is
Sean.
my very favorite song, by the way. And I'm bad at picking favorites.
Well, thanks.
Thanks for writing. Cheers, Bertie.
I really love
Shout
that
out
song,
to
and
Mr. Adam Horowitz, too, for tracking it for us.
that actually leads into my next question. Since your production is being handled in-house, how's that shaped the sound and the timeline of when y'all put things out?
It shapes the sound in that we're able to say, may I? Be nice. I'm gonna
Be nice.
I'm gonna be really complimentary is what I'm gonna do. So not only is our recording handled in-house, it's handled in a family house with the most badass parents I've ever met, Adam Horowitz and Danny Horowitz. So our timeline ends up being a little bit driven by the responsibilities of life, the realities of what happens. We're not going into a studio and paying $10,000 to get a record cut. We're putting $10,000 worth of love and effort into rearranging our lives so that we can make this happen. So it takes a little bit more time, but the end result is pure. It is exactly what we want it to be, and it's never not been. So do we have 20 albums of prolific material that we can throw at the wall? No. But we've got a handful of some of the best composed songs we could possibly make, put together by an audio engineer who gives a major F, and that is priceless.
I love that so much. And now I was also, we were talking through email about something coming up called Doom Cocoon. I am intrigued. Tell me, what can you tell me about this?
That. So a lot of people wouldn't guess. I've been blowing it out there all weekend, and they're like, Trey, what's your inspiration? I mean, you must love Bill Monroe and Holding in the Way and all this stuff. And I'm like, I really like Outkast. I listen to a lot of Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh.
When I put on the radio, I like MF Doom. Because I'm a hip-hop guy. And it is an interesting intersection that my first musical goal was to be a speed rapper. And so when I hear that digga 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 these crazy cadences, and it applies directly to the way that I play banjo, to the way that I write these fast-paced, energetic songs. I just happen to be good at the banjo, and it took years for me to feel confident, because I take hip-hop a lot more seriously than bluegrass, I guess, to put together a piece of music that I felt like was tire fire hip-hop. And so we wrote this tune, Doom Cocoon, that is really incredible music. It has this hook that I wrote on a golf cart at a music festival.
Oh, cool.
It has these interesting concepts. It's about balancing the extrovert and introvert energy of being a musician. It's also about dealing with imposter syndrome. And the verses in the song are straight up speed rap. And the team put together this crazy, well, it's mostly Sean, I think, wrote this Flight of the Bumblebee-esque wild instrumental section that captures the intensity, almost anxiety, but beautiful anxiety of being a performer and trying to mix these genres, and it's an explosive tune. We put together an animated music video using, and before you say cool, we use some generative technologies that I know are real controversial, but one of my dearest and oldest friends has spent his last 10 years learning to use those tools, and he wanted to put together a music video for us for it, and so we did. And I think in that way, even the music video will capture a little bit of this. Is this good? This is an interesting crossover that I didn't see coming. And so again, dealing with imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be super cool. It's going to be our first hip hop tune that we put out. That's an original piece of music, and we'll have a little music video to go with it.
Very, very cool. I look forward to seeing that. So you just mentioned, anxiety and imposter syndrome, which, this podcast is about creativity at the root of things. And I believe that there's never a time when someone says they haven't gone through some kind of imposter syndrome. How do y'all navigate that?
You show up, I suppose. I think just keep showing up in spite of it.
Just do it.
Present moment included.
Yeah. Is there anybody particularly in the group who tends to sort of ease the nerves or the anxiety when things might get a little tense or weird?
I think we all do that equally.
Yeah,
Totally.
And we all do it equally, is what Dave said. In case
I love that.
I didn't grab that.
I think right before, all of us are just very, when we look at each other, just You know, it's a.
We're giddy.
Like giddy is the correct term.
And I can tell that when I watch y'all.
Just backstage, like
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
Waiting
And
in line
it's-
for the new ride.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It very much feels like Christmas morning sometimes. So it's like
almost every time.
yes, especially at a place like this. And I'm always humbled to be here. I grew up in Central Florida, and I wouldn't say it's a mecca for fiddlers. And I often find that I'm one, or maybe one of maybe two other fiddlers at a lot of like local festivals.
Mm-hmm.
So to come up here and be amongst so many other incredible fiddlers, it's really awesome to be able to like step into the jam circles that happen here naturally. Like it's a festival that's built for that, and to be able to like play alongside, it's really cool.
Yeah, I could see it when I watch y'all. I can feel the giddiness coming off y'all, especially this morning and at Florida Americana where I saw y'all for the first time. Did you have anything you want to say, Ari?
Oh, just to the point of each of us like bringing the others back. I know that like I get in my head probably more than anybody else, and the boys have mentioned like they're having a tough time, and then they look over at me and I'm just going bonkers, and and it does. It's yeah, man, it cuts through because like I got invited to join the band back in the day, and I was like, I don't think I can physically actually move that fast, and I still really can't, but like it's fun still. I do what I can, it's just like
She likes to say she plays mandolin like a dump truck. It's like a dump truck is not.
Yeah.
right, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, sorry to interrupt the interview. I promise you we'll get right back to it, but this is important. I need to include some important thank yous. First of all, this interview would not even be possible if it weren't for so many wonderful people. When I was getting ready to go to the festival a couple months ahead, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. I've been providing media coverage to the festival for a really long time, and I drive an old car. In fact, on the way back from Suwannee Roots Revival last year, I had some car trouble, and it was very concerning. And I haven't had the time or the funds to fix the car. It's a 2005 Chevy Impala, and I'm still, quite frankly, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And so until then, I'm having to rely on rental cars. So long story short, Nikki Talley, one of the performers, suggested I do a live stream and raise some virtual tips. And I did that. We managed to raise $800 in just 3 days. And so I want to thank everyone who donated to the virtual tip jar, and also especially My Happy Ass Life, the podcast. They were one of the main contributors, and also Panama City Comedy, Jason Hedden. Thank you so much to Karen Smith of My Happy Ass Life and Jason Hedden at Panama City Comedy for all your kindness and support. I love y'all. This really means so much that y'all were able to help, but because of y'all and all the individuals, I was able to go to the festival and do a couple of interviews, and I'll also be writing a recap article, which will be coming out very soon. Also, I want to share with you that I'm going to be more consistent with Sunshine State Showcase. I haven't been releasing episodes regularly because I've been facing some pretty tough life challenges. I was sick through a good part of the winter, and I've had some professional obstacles I've had to get through. But I am back to rediscovering why I do this, and I don't want to quit. I want to keep going. So if you would like to support the show, I'm going to put my Venmo link up here on the screen. You can scan that. And just know that your donations go to rental cars. They go to my regular car upkeep for local engagements. Donations also go to things like gas and other travel expenses and just maintaining the equipment. We go through a lot of batteries, a lot of cables, a lot of SD cards, and I'm just grateful for all your support. So again, you can support the show by clicking on that Venmo link, or you can send me an email at createwithadfmedia@gmail.com. Another point I wanted to bring up is that this episode could be brought to you by you. This episode I consider to be brought to you by Panama City Comedy and My Happy Ass Life and all the fine individuals who donated. But I am offering some mid-roll ad opportunities as well as post-roll ad opportunities. And the thing you should know about podcast advertising is it's not like radio ads or TV ads or newspaper ads or anything like that. They last forever. So if you were to get an ad on Sunshine State Showcase, it would play well past the time that I'm on this earth, because I fully intend to have the show set up to exist long after I pass away. So your ads will live on forever. If this is something that is of interest to you, I've got different rates. I can send you my price sheet. Just send me an email at createwithadfmedia@gmail.com, and I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much to everybody who's been supporting all the way. All right, now let's get back to the interview. Enjoy.
So I'm going to kind of change gears here. And so out of all of you, which member of your band do you think would survive the best in the wilderness of Suwannee? And which one of you would immediately need snack, shade, and emotional support?
Dave.
Dave.
Sean needs a handler.
I'm number 2.
No,
Sean needs a
I
handler,
play the
yeah,
bass
for sure.
I
guitar.
will say, I have never seen Danny without help. He has a built-in husbandager.
Why didn't I think of that?
The husbandager? I thought about it earlier.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about it.
I've heard of a momager. A husbandager is a new one.
No, there's a
That's
husbandager.
I
yeah.
love that. That's great.
Well, what had happened was I was asking Adam for help, and then he actually did stay and help me instead of going to Danny, which was true, but I was trying to ham it up like that didn't happen. Anyways, that was a bit. It was there.
Adam just said it was at lunch.
I really love the nuances of your songs. Like, for example, I've heard y'all play the song that's the reference to Firefly before, but I don't guess I caught the story. But that is so cool. So, have you been a longtime Firefly fan?
Yeah, totally.
For sure.
As that song was one that I started writing before Tire Fire even existed, and actually it was at this point in my life where I didn't have TV, barely had a couch, but I learned that if you go to the library and you have a library card, they'll check you out.
Oh, yeah.
Movies, and so we managed to get a TV and a DVD player, and you know at the time my partner and I watched through Firefly, and it has this really great place in my heart as a triumphant story and in a hard part of my life, and so. Capturing that into song form, I didn't think I'd ever actually finish it. It wasn't until years later that when we all got together as Tire Fire and our earlier iterations that we completed the song, wrote the second verse, made this crazy modulation, instrumental parts, and all that. And I was telling somebody on stage, I was like, the lyrics, "You'll never take my sight from me," and of course the song has its own meaning outside of just being a reference to Firefly. It's got all this emotional stuff, but I like pieces of music to have layers, right? And so that lyric, "You'll never take my sight from me," it was originally "You'll never take the sky from
Right.
me." In the sea of stars, you'll never take the sky from me. But I felt like that was plagiarism if I just literally said their tagline. You know, that's if you're not familiar with Firefly as a show, that's the tagline on their theme song. And so I try not to plagiarize too dang much. Be inspired, don't steal. And so that's what that is.
I loved it because I was like, you know what? That is a great nod to a fantastic theme song. Because that's what I loved about the show the most is the theme song is great.
It brings you in and it sets the stage for that cowboy western space opera.
Yes,
It's
it does.
good.
Awesome. So let's talk more specifically about this festival. I've seen several of y'all out here on multiplications. We've played together out in the woods till the sun came up, and I hope we will again. Yeah. What does a festival like Suwannee mean in a world that can sometimes feel rushed or scattered?
Let's maybe all answer that
Yeah.
and pass the mic. You start. You first.
What does this place mean to me? I have heard so many incredible songs in the woods and around the fire, and more often than not, I'm like musically not as learned as I don't know the references. I don't know all the art. You know, a lot of people have a great catalog in their head, and I just don't. But I ask people who made that song, and most of the time they say I did, and I'm just blown away. It's so cool to hear such amazing original tunes come out of these woods, and to just get to be around art and music and just incredible people, and everybody here is so cool. And
It just feels like a kind of a home away from home for me, and just the ability to be able to sit around a fire 3 nights in a row and just have a rotating cast of incredible people and the ability to like make a stranger a friend
Yeah.
just by jamming around a fire. It's kind of church vibe, really.
You're never strangers long, are you?
Right, no. You really not.
My wife brought me here for the first time in 2005 for when it was Spring Fest. And I fell in love with it then. And to like come full circle and be here now and, you know, playing the festival, it's just an amazing thing. I've been fortunate enough to be coming up here and playing in this park for the past 20 years. And with different bands and in different situations. And it's, like everyone's been saying, it's the camaraderie. It's the coming together. It's the, hey, how's it going? It's nice to meet you. I'm Dave. You know, it's just, it's that. It's comfortable.
I totally agree with Home Away from Home. It absolutely feels like it's just a magical place that's so welcoming, and it's incredible that I've been coming to, you know, the Springfest, Magfest, and, you know, the Spring Reunion, Roots Revival now for many, many years, and I've been lucky enough to play with a lot of my heroes at campfires after the music's done on the stages, and it's incredible to have that experience and a welcoming experience with my heroes, but also the guy that's sitting next to me that I've never met before. Like, that interaction is almost just as special, and you just can't get that anywhere else. I've never experienced that anywhere else, and it's a magical, beautiful thing that I'm really, really grateful for.
I echo that sentiment. I feel like out of anywhere I've been in my home state, like, here is where you go to, like, speak the language of music with others. Like they said, being able to walk up to people that you don't even know and just, you know, introduce yourself and talk a little bit and take out your instrument, and then, you know, catch up on life and be able to make friends that you wouldn't have been able to make otherwise. It's like every single person is in that same vibe here. And these festivals that we do here mean a lot to me, and being in all the different vibes, like going to Hula, that is so different than like coming here. But coming here years ago when it was, you know, Spring Fest and then Magfest and then Spring Reunion and then Roots, I mean, it is this like core of music lovers and people that you just get to like reunite with every single time that you come here. And that's so special.
It is. It definitely becomes like a family reunion. Go ahead.
It is the reunion.
It would be very easy to echo everything that's been said,
Yeah.
because it is just objectively true. And so to add to it, I'll say instead, because all of that is true for me as well, but the Spirit of Suwannee Music Park and these festivals have, since I was 18 years old and learned that a man named Paul Levine existed, who threw a show called Bear Creek and Purple Hatters.
Yep.
It's been an anchor, and it's been a goalpost. It has been something that has driven my career and said, this is something that for so many people is imaginary, but this place makes it real. And I know that there's this whole like thing where people say, oh, I'm leaving the festival, I'm going back to the real world. But it's the opposite for me. It's like, this is real.
Yeah.
And I have had the pleasure and blessing of working here in production as an artist in the Spirit Lake at Halloween. I've been here now as a performing artist doing the music that we make, and I've been able to be here as a journalist. Opportunities like that for, you know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I was when I started, and that lets young people see that this world is real. This is a real job. This is a real potential future. If you work your ass off, you will, maybe in 10, 15 years, you'll end up on the amphitheater stage. And it is worth every moment of that. I don't know that I would have thought a career as a professional banjo playing, rapping clown would be a real option without a community like this and places like this that act as sort of an incubator. You know, the campgrounds are like an incubator for the best sounds. You know, if you go to the late night picks, you'll hear the next big band. If you go to these after jams at Halloween, you'll see somebody that'll be on the lineup next year if they put that work in, they stay dedicated and professional, and they don't waste those opportunities. And so for me, Suwannee has been, of course, family, but also an anchor and a goalpost, something to look forward to achieving and to drive to that next thing.
Amen, brother. So In this age of streaming where, like, you apply these festivals, one of the first things on the application is sometimes how many streaming followers do you have? So living with that dynamic, what keeps y'all believing in live music, community, and this kind of a gathering?
I would say one function of it is, I mean, we haven't necessarily gotten that explosive viral experience on social media, on Spotify. We have a couple thousand listeners. That's not much in this day and age. But what keeps us going is that despite that, the relationships that we've made and the people that have heard us play recognize the value of what we do, and they bring us on regardless. And so it feels like live music and these festivals are a chance to supersede that and to provide a valuable music experience without having to necessarily prove that you have the followers online, because we've made all these relationships in person.
That's right.
And it works when you're at home away from home. It's definitely harder to break new markets with that philosophy and attitude.
Yes, I mean, we are all from around here, and we all have different projects that have played here before in the past, and so that does help a lot, for sure. But like what he's saying, breaking in new markets, it is important.
Yeah.
That you have to devote a lot of time into the internet, and that's just how it is as a band, and I think that's something that, I mean, if you don't embrace it, and you just have to embrace it and like it.
The internet is a terrible, vast
The internet
experience
is great.
full of joy.
Yes,
And
it is on the internet.
But what keeps us having faith in live music is it's objectively the pure form of the experience. I mean, you cannot get what you get here online. And
That's right.
You can get something really close. I mean, you listeners, this is a special thing that we're going to share that
Via the internet.
That doesn't necessarily. That's a special thing. But
Even a picture of the moon.
yeah, even you. Right, exactly.
It looks beautiful in person. I said it's like trying to take a picture of the moon. Like, it'll be gorgeous, and then you take a picture of it, and it's pixelated and a little too bright. I feel like music kind of has that same quality. Like, it doesn't translate all the way through.
What can folks expect to come away from leaving your set coming up this weekend? How do you want people to feel?
I often.
Inspired.
Dave has words.
No, I'm just saying. Absolutely, just inspired, absolutely, and energized.
I feel like if we've made you laugh, we've made
Yes.
you dance, and we've made you cry, we accomplished our goal as Tire Fire. Now, you may be crying from the emotive aspect of our music or the burning rubber smoke in your eyes, but one way or another, I want to capture the breadth of human experience in a musical form in about an hour, and so, like, that's something I honestly feel like we achieve more often than not. It's so cool to get to play with such talented, dynamic musicians that make that possible.
Absolutely, and we're gonna rage the socks off. I mean, it's gonna be a blast in the tent. I'm telling you.
That is going to be
We're excited.
Lots
for
of
the next
cool
one,
songs
too.
to be played.
For the late night. And we played some pretty cool songs this morning.
You did.
That should give us perspective on this fun set to come.
Yeah. So before we go, where can folks find y'all online, and what's next after this festival for y'all?
We're online, Tirefire, it's tirefiremusic.com or tirefireband.com, and we're on Spotify under Tirefire. We're on all the streaming platforms, and a lot of our personal content goes out on Facebook. Be sure to follow us there. And our next big event is, I believe, the Fox Fam Jam, which is a brand new festival trying to capture this spirit down in Brooksville at the Florida Sands Music Ranch, and that's going to be a real special time. We're going to put our energy into that and helping make that this sort of experience for some other folks there. Following that, we have a very cool festival in South Georgia in Waycross called the Swamp Town Get Down, and more and more of that as the time flows on, just as many great music festivals that are trying to recreate this very experience. That's the future.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much today for being on Sunshine State Showcase, and all the best to you in your musical journeys. I look forward to hearing y'all set tonight and your Doom Cocoon that's coming out in the future. That's going to be exciting. And until next time, take it easy, but take it.
All right. Special thanks to Tire Fire for being on the show and sharing your story and sharing your music and sharing your fun spirit. I cannot wait to see all your future projects that come out, and hopefully we will meet up again somewhere along the way. Y'all were absolutely fantastic. All right, y'all, I need to catch you up on some life stuff, and this is part of why I haven't been able to release episodes as consistently as I prefer to. I have recently lost 2 of my bread and butter jobs from budget cuts. We are living in interesting times, but I am not giving up. I want you to know that I can help you with many things. I can produce podcasts, I can do email marketing, I can help you start your Patreon community, run an existing Patreon community. I can help you with your social media management. There are a number of things that I can help you with when it comes to production and marketing. So if you need help with any of these things, please send me an email to createwithadfmedia@gmail.com. I'll get back to you and we can set up a free discovery call to find out what you need. All right, I need to let you know what's coming up. I have a couple of episodes that I'm looking to put out in the next month or so. One is long overdue, and it is with Chakula and the Hunger Bus. Chakula is a fantastic multi-instrumentalist, and it's not just him. He's got his friends who are also part of the board of the Hunger Bus that are on the show, Nora Baer, as well as Trevor Bystrom. There's some other folks who joined us for the show. We filmed this way back in December at the Florida Winter Music Festival. And because I was navigating pretty serious illness during the winter and just job loss and hard times during the winter, I wasn't able to get the episode out, and I apologize to that for y'all, but that episode will be out soon. Also, I need to let you know about another episode coming up, and this is with one of my dearest friends, Miss Heidi Jamila. Heidi and I met at Spirit of the Suwannee when we were super young. I guess we were at our early 20s, and we met at Slopperyland playing music. And eventually she ended up moving from the Daytona area to the Panhandle, and we ended up in a band together called the Sweater Puppets. And we had many great years playing music together, lots of great times. And then eventually she ended up moving to South Florida and then also England. And now she lives in Germany with her husband. And they come from Germany to Spirit of the Suwannee Music Park for either Roots Revival or Spring Reunion pretty often. I would say pretty often, at least once a year or every other year. I'm really, really grateful for every time they're able to come because they come from across the world, y'all. And it's just been so wonderful to see Heidi's growth. You know, Heidi's always been gifted in so many different artistic endeavors, but now she is the secretary of the European Bluegrass Music Association, and she's working with them on conferences and bluegrass festivals and all kinds of events that empower musicians. And I got to do an interview with her, and I can't wait for you to see it, and that will also be out within the next month. Don't miss it. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this episode with Tire Fire, and you will tune in for episodes coming up. And until next time, take it easy, but take it.